An alien merchant comes to Quark with an interesting object to sell. It seems that members of his race have learned how to probe one's memory and encode it on a small device. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Seventh Rule with Sirach Lofton.
Hello, hello.
And Melissa Longo.
Hello, hello.
My name is Ryan T. Husk. Today we are joined by Mr. Ethan Calk, writer.
Hello, I'm trying to do it. Yeah, I got it.
Very nice. And this is our Lost Episodes series. These are episodes that were pitched by writers such as Ethan today. And some of them got picked up, others didn't for various reasons. But many of us who want more Deep Space Nine episodes, more Star Trek episodes, and know that that's impossible, well, this can kind of fill that void. We can get some freebies, no production cost.
Yep.
So let's move forward and talk about this episode. And you've written out the full treatment for us. For the pitch back in the day. This was back in the 90s. And this episode is called Pyramids. And you pitched it to the writers, and for whatever reason, it did not get picked up, but we're going to enjoy it right now. It begins. An alien... Oh, wait. Sirach, do you want to guess what this is about?
So they found a pyramid on the shore, and it is very much like the Egyptian pyramid. That's all I got.
Ooh, very cool. Some kind of link. Okay. An alien merchant comes to Quark's with an interesting object to sell. It seems that members of his race have learned how to probe one's memory and encode it on a small device that looks much like several pyramids smashed together. Then the person can take the individual segments off one at a time, interface them with Deep Space Nine's computer, and relive those memories. All memories, whether past or present, vivid memories, vague, forgotten, or even subconscious memories. When several of the crew, including Bashir and Jake, show an interest in the pyramids, Quark buys the entire shipment from the alien. Sales boom, and Quark revels in the profit.
Oh, neat.
I wonder what piqued Jake's interest in that. Like, what memories was he after?
I don't know. Maybe it was like a writer or something, and he wanted to like get in his shoes, get into J.D. Salinger's mind or something.
Or
my first thought was his mother. Mother.
Oh,
Yeah.
And what were you saying, Melissa?
I was going to say that it would make interesting holosuite programs. Just to interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't want mine available to anybody, just for the record.
No.
Just in case they invent this technology later in the future,
We want to opt out.
I'm opting out right now, early.
Put the tape over your cell phone. Or your cell phone camera. All right.
Yeah. Not all my memories, no.
It continues. As we see the crew using the pyramids, we can get an idea of some of the past events in our crew's lives. Kira's time with Vedic Bareil, another name for him. Jake with his dad and mom, got it. Bashir and Melora. Hey, welcome back, Melora, etc.
Wow.
Eventually, the crew begins inadvertently running into less pleasant memories. Dax's Duran host, Duran, who murdered a doctor, the death of Kira's parents during the occupation, etc. As Kira relives this painful memory, she gets an idea. Why not just discard this one chip, this one bad memory? She doesn't ever want to remember it, so getting rid of the chip won't do any harm. So she destroys the chip, and as soon as she does, she immediately feels better. She reports to the bridge, whistling and humming. Her performance, however, is somewhat lacking. She makes a mistake and shrugs it off as nothing. When questioned about it by Sisko, she gets a little defensive. Later, she tells the others about destroying the chip and how much better she feels. So others slowly begin doing the same, and we gradually see changes in everyone. And though they claim to feel better, the changes in their personalities are not for the better.
Mm. Oh, this is a good one.
Mhm.
Good
Yeah.
psychological
This kind of really gets
thing.
into
Yeah.
that psychological kind of thriller where you're questioning, the value of memories and whether they only have negative effects on you.
Right.
I think that's the first question that rises when I heard the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And if you delete that negative memory, although you feel good about it because you don't have that burden anymore, you may also lose something positive that you have gained from that experience.
Right.
Right. You lose that lesson, that life lesson, or that character building moment.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
It's like if a basketball player, I'm just thinking, it's like if a basketball player forgot all the games that he lost. Man, it sucked. Those games I lost sucked. But then you never learned from it. You never improved.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan's stick to Star Trek, buddy.
Now, he said that long ago when I pitched my pyramid idea. I think that was me. But no, actually, let's continue, and then I want to kind of say what I think about the concept. But it's really good.
Okay. So it seems the pyramid doesn't merely record their memories. The memories coexist in the mind and on the pyramids. Throwing chips away effectively erases all memory of those experiences from the person, causing these personality changes. And these are all negative changes because your bad experiences help shape who you are as much or more than the good ones. Kira, in throwing away the chip where she faces her parents' death, becomes lackadaisical and shuns responsibility. Bashir gets rid of his memory of his post-ganglionic nerve failure on the Starfleet medical final and makes a rash mistake, thinking he's perfect. O'Brien tosses some of the memories of his marital problems with Keiko and begins flirting with Dabo girls. He's lost some of what has made his marriage strong. And Jake gets rid of the memories of his failed relationship with the Dabo girl and loses some of his deep emotional writing skills. But none of them realize they have changed.
So who saves the day?
Question.
How do they figure it out?
So who saves the day is Melora. Wow, who would have guessed? No.
Wow.
So it continues. The remaining crew members, Cisco, Worf, Odo, begin to realize that it is the pyramids causing the problems, but can't seem to convince the changed crew members. Since the memories are gone, they don't remember who they were. Everything seems normal to them. In addition, Cisco and the others have another problem on their hands. Deep Space Nine's computers begin failing. Eventually, they realize that this is also the pyramids causing the malfunctions. Since they interfaced the pyramids with the computers, throwing away the parts of the pyramids has removed some of the computers' memories as well. So this is the raising the stakes moment. This is when it's not just personal imperfections. It's now a legitimate situation in which the station can have major problems. Okay, so it continues. Now they must hurry and find the alien who sold Quark the pyramids. Perhaps he knows what to do to restore the computer and the person's memories before the computer stops working altogether and they are trapped on a dead station. They eventually track down the alien who tells them how to restore the memories, both in the station computers and in the people. He apologizes for the flaw, like a natural businessman. There is a chemical in the alien race's brain that keeps this kind of thing from happening, which he didn't realize that everyone on Deep Space Nine didn't have. They synthesize the chemical, and everyone is returned to normal.
Kind of a lame ending, actually, now that I read it again. But I mean, you kind of have to resolve it. So
that's a lot of times how episodes do that, where I've noticed that before, where it's not like you don't have to have an explosion that's about to happen or the Klingon fleet that's about to come in. It's kind of just like one steady rising ride where it's going like this, it's going like this, it's going like this, until you don't realize that all the tension has heightened because there hasn't been like one big event that shocks you. It's just a raise, and the stress level goes up, and then they find it, comes down, and then you look, you're like, oh, the episode's over.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much how this one would work out. Like, just keep building it up until just before the end, when you have a solution for it. But I was actually thinking that this has this is something you could almost recycle in some ways to some of the new Star Trek.
Yeah.
I was thinking there's so much emotional and self-evaluation in some of the newer Star Trek, that a tool like this or a story like this could actually, because that would be something, for example, Discovery crew would want to deal with. They would want to erase maybe the memory of something,
especially since the ship's computer is already emotional and stuff now. So she's gonna be like, I don't remember that magical moment either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Computer, raise the shields. I forgot how to raise the shields.
I'll sing you
First,
you
don't want to do something. Now you forgot.
Yeah.
I'll sing you a song instead. But it's also a good tool for character development. You learn what memories each character wants to erase and why. So that's awesome. I think it's very interesting.
Oh, thank you.
So, Ethan, you say, I originally pitched this to Brannon Braga on Voyager. Oh, that's cool. Like Sirach was saying, it could be used in different Star Trek. Originally pitched it to Brannon Braga on Voyager in September of 1995. He originally liked the idea, and you discussed it for a good 5 minutes. He mentioned there really wasn't a middle to the story, but he was going to pass it on to the rest of the writing team. About a month later, they called and said they decided to pass. You reworked it and pitched it to Deep Space Nine, but can't remember who you pitched it to or the reasons they gave for passing on it. Wow, that's cool. So this one had 2 chances.
Yeah.
And the first one was a little bit of back and forth, which shows there was a lot of interest in it.
Yeah, I remember just talking, and he would ask questions, and we'd just go back and forth. So it was, boy, I was so hopeful. And when he said he'd pass it on, but you get the call late. At least they decided to call. So I was happy about that. At least you weren't just in limbo forever.
Yeah. That's got to be the best feeling of when they say, cool, what else you got? Versus the good feeling, which is, and what about, and they start asking you questions, right?
Right.
That's what happened with Visionary. I pitched it, Renee, and he just pauses. I'm thinking, and he says, "That's really cool. I've never heard one like that before," and it just went on like that. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I can imagine it kind of being an instant type of thing where somebody's like, "Oh," and once the wheels are turning, then you've kind of got a bite on the hook.
Right.
And by the way, Ethan wrote Visionary, or got writing credits for Visionary and Children of Time on Deep Space Nine. What were you saying, Ethan?
I would say both of those 2 stories were like that. It just like hooked them right away, and I could kind of tell that it was going to be very positive. But this one, I thought so too, at least the Voyager, but didn't quite work out.
Sounds like a
as we were talking about it too, I thought of another application for it, which is that it would be used. You could use this same kind of technology to investigate crimes.
Ah.
So,
Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
Uh-huh.
Odo's like, I'll go ahead and keep one of those. Thank you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's great.
I guess it's, yeah.
Oh.
I guess
Thanks
as long
very
as he
much,
didn't
Ethan.
destroy it, yeah, it would be okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. This has been really great, Ethan. Thank you very much for this episode entitled Pyramids. And everybody at home, if you liked pyramids, then hey, go ahead and add it to your headcanon. Say this is officially season 3, episode 27. It's locked in and nobody can tell me any differently. Those things are out there
That's cool.
somewhere, and Discovery's going to find a pyramid, and it's going to be like a cool little Easter egg. And we're like, that's like in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
But thank you very much. This was really cool, Ethan. We really appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Thank you.
Absolutely. It was fun. It was great. I appreciate it.
Great. And everybody at home, feel free to lock that one away. And in the comments below, tell us what you thought. Always let us know your thoughts. What would you add? What would you take away? Do you love this one? Do you hate it? If you hate it, just tell it to someone else. Don't comment that.
I can take it. I can take it.
But thanks very much. We'll see you again real soon. Thanks, Ethan.
Thank you.
And everybody at home, always remember the 7th rule.